Hi guys, welcome back again to our channel Coder Circuit. This video will be the fourth part of Java exception handling, and here we'll be covering one more important concept in exception handling in Java, which is the try with resources. Okay, so before starting this video, I hope you guys have gone through the other three parts. Please go back and refer those and then come back to this part. That will be very helpful so for you to understand. Okay, and again, before starting, I would like to request all of you to please like and share our videos and subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon if you really like our content, and this will help you to receive notifications of our future updates. Okay, so without any more further ado, let's start with today's topic, which is try with resources. Okay, so let's go back to our IDE, and here you can see in the last example. Guys, before even starting, let me tell you one thing. If you have not gone through the earlier videos, I will give the link to the earlier three videos in the description and also in the I button so that you can go back there and refer them and then come back and start with this. Okay, this is a very humble request from my side so that you can follow along. That will be very helpful to you. Okay, so you can see here in the earlier one, I showed you the use of the throws declaration. Okay, so what my point here is, there is a particular hierarchy of the try catch blocks. Correct. So something like this. Let me just create a simple text file here, text, and okay, let it be .txt, and let me open that. And here let us try to discuss the hierarchy. So as we have learned in the three parts till now, so first we try to handle an exception in the try block. Okay, if there is any exceptions, then we catch that exception in the catch block, and there can be multiple catch blocks also. Correct. And finally we have the finally block where we actually release the resources. So if we want to talk about this in a proper way, we can say try to do something, catch exception type 1, and you can then say, if I copy this, catch exception type 2, there can be n number of exceptions, right? Any kind of exception. So here also I can have one more catch block where I can say that catch exception of any type by using the base class, that is the exception. Okay, got it. And after that, what we do in the final block, we release the resources. Okay, so this is actually the hierarchy of the try catch block. We try to do something in the try block. If at all there are any exceptions, we catch them in the catch block. And because I said there can be n number of exceptions or any type of exception, maybe array index out of bounds, maybe runtime exception, maybe arithmetic exception, maybe divide by zero exception, it can be anything, right? In that kind of cases we can handle them using multiple catch blocks, or else we can also use the multi catch statement that I just showed you in this example number, I think 2. Yes, this one. You can see here, this was the multi catch statement. We can sum up together the types of exceptions in one catch block by writing them separating by a pipe symbol. Okay, that means the or operator, something like that. Okay, so you can also combine multiple exceptions in one single catch block. That is also possible. So what I want to say is, we first try to do this, then we catch the exceptions in multiple catch blocks, and if we have some undefined or unchecked exception, then we try to catch them in the base class of the exception. And finally we have the finally block where we release the resources. So this block will always get executed no matter what happens to the code, right? So this is the actual hierarchy or the sequence of writing the try and catch blocks. Now, my question is, will my code work if I don't have the catch and the finally blocks? Is it possible? That is my question. So let's get back to the code and try to see this. Think of this and just try to answer me this. Will the try block work without catch or finally? Can we do it? So what I'm trying to say here is, let me just do one thing. Let me delete this catch and the finally blocks. You can see here, automatically there is a compile time error, right? And if I hover over this, you can see here, it says add catch clauses at finally block. It's saying that, correct? So that means there will be a compile time error and I will be getting an error when I run this code. It will not execute, it will not compile at all. So my question is it possible to have a normal try block without even catch or finally? Yes, guys, we can have it, and that is called the try with resources. Okay, so let us do one thing. Let us run this in a wrong order or with some errors. Let's see what we get. I'm running this now. You can see here in the error or in the message, we have try without catch, finally, or resource declarations. So that is what we are going to learn today, guys. Resource declarations. So what is try with resource? Okay, so this is a very important interview question. Please keep it in mind. What is try with resources? Okay, I have already written it here. Let me not write it again. So almost all Java developer interview questions has this question. What is try with resources? Okay. So whenever we write the try block without even the catch and the finally block, it is called try with resources. Okay. So now we already saw that in the run panel, or let me just do one thing in the problems. Catch or finally expected is written here, and let me run this again so that we can go back to that output. Yes, you can see here finally or resource declaration is missing, correct? So we have to give that. So now what is that actually? So simple as that. After the try and before the curly bracket even starts, we write a round bracket. Okay, and inside this round bracket we provide the resources for the try block. See now guys, the error, if I just delete this from here, the compile time error was coming here. Now if I give the bracket here, the error will shift to this line. Yes, you can see the red color line is highlighted here. Now this is actually the resource that we are using in our code, right? The buffer reader. Now I will simply cut this from here and pass it in this bracket like this. And we have the class. Let me just copy the class from here and paste it here and paste it like this. Okay. And let us delete this line from here. It's not required. Now you can see our code is very clean and there are no errors, and I need to remove the semicolon. This is also not required. Okay, so inside the try bracket, you can see here inside the try bracket we have passed the resources. The buffered reader has been passed inside the try bracket. This is called try with resources. Okay, whenever we pass all the resources in the parenthesis in the try block only, it is called try with resources. Now let us run this and see if this is really working or not. Right, we wrote the code, or we actually have written the code. Let's see if it is really working or not. So run this. Yep, it is working, guys. You can see I'm getting the option, and let me just press enter. You can see it's working absolutely fine. And let me just run this and pass any data, say coder circuit, and press enter. You can see it's absolutely behaving the same way as it was doing earlier. Okay, now let's do one thing. Let us talk about one more important interview question. Now here, whenever we are using the buffered reader in the try with resources, we don't have to write the finally block, correct? So in my earlier program, what we saw that we have to use the finally block to close our resources or release our resources. Now in the interview, you will get a very important question, which is, if I am using buffered reader in the try with resources, how does it auto close? Because they will ask you this question. How are the resources closed? because there is no final block and I have not even written br dot close, something like this, br dot close. So see here, it is not even highlighted here, guys, right? So that means there is something happening which is actually closing it automatically. But how do you find it out? That is a very important interview question. Please remember that. Now, very simple and very easy to understand and remember, that is to understand the hierarchy of the buffer reader. Okay. So first of all, what we do, we press Control and click on the class. See here, let's go to the class of buffer reader and see the hierarchy of buffer reader. So I'm clicking on this. You can see public class buffer reader extends the reader class. Okay. Now let me hover over this again and control and click. Now you can see public abstract class reader implements readable and closable. Okay. So these are two interfaces, the readable and the closable, and the reader implements the readable and the closable interfaces. Now let us open the closable interface. So you can see here, guys, the public interface closable extends auto closable. Okay. So that actually says all right, because the closable extends auto closable. So that's why whenever we are using the buffer reader inside the try with resources, it is automatically closed. We don't have to close it. Got it? Clear? So this is a very important hierarchy that you need to remember. You can see here again, the buffer reader extends the reader implements the readable and the closable, and then the closable extends the auto closable. That's why it is automatically closed by the JVM. We don't have to close it. Okay. So that's it about this. So guys, this is about the try with resources. This is a very important interview question. I'm telling you again and again, please go through this. And many of the students or even professionals don't know about this. So I'm giving you a hands-on example on this. Please, please, please remember it and try to remember it for your interviews. Okay. So if you have any doubts regarding this also, you can post your doubts in the comment section. I'll be very happy to clarify them. And at the same time, if you like this video, please don't forget to like and share it with your family, and also hit the bell icon and subscribe to our channel for future updates. That is very important, because that will actually motivate us to bring more good content to you. Okay. So I hope you have loved this video, guys. This was about our tutorials on Java exception handling from the beginning to the end. Okay, I have given you a brief example of all of them. And if at all I get any newer concepts in exception handling, I'll be bringing them to you. Don't have to worry about that. If I get anything new, I will be bringing them to you. Okay. So thank you for watching till the end. And I really appreciate your support and really, really thanks a lot. And thanks for being with me till the end. So till the next video, this is Saurabh signing off. Bye bye and happy learning. Thank you, guys.